Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to VEDA day 23. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I was like, I have nothing planned today. I don't have enough content for vlogging, so I was trying to rack my brain all day. What can I do? What can I do? And I decided I'm going to do a book review today because I finished a book yesterday and boy do I have some thoughts. So grab yourself a coffee. This is like the second coffee of the day. It's almost done. Get yourself some coffee and let's chat, okay? So the book I'm going to be talking about is this bad boy right here. This is Alice by Christina Henry, and this is a reimagining of Alice in Wonderland. If you've been around this channel, you know I'm a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. I have many versions of Alice in Wonderland. The real story, I have reimaginings, I have a tattoo on the side right here of Alice. It's my favorite. So of course I was really excited about this reimagining because it is a very, very, very like underlined, very explanation points, capital letter, very dark. It's a very dark reimagining of Alice in Wonderland. So this book, inspired by Lewis Carroll's classic Alice in Wonderland, starts off with our main character, Alice, who is in a psych ward. She has these weird, what she thinks are memories of a man who unfortunately did some bad things to her. Really quick too, before I continue, there are some trigger warnings like rape. There's a lot of violence, a lot of blood. So if this is something you don't want to hear about, I would probably stop watching because it does have to do a lot with as we get into the story of what's going on. So we see Alice in a psych ward. She's, you know, not having such a great time in the psych ward. She's being abused. They're giving her these, I think they call them powders. Yeah, I think they're like powders, so like medicines to kind of calm her down. And she's just constantly in this jail cell, pretty much, in a psych ward. And we find out she meets Hatcher through a little hole, a little mouse hole. So she talks to Hatcher, gets to know Hatcher, even though all she can see of Hatcher is through this little peephole. And Hatcher keeps telling her that she needs to ready because they're going to escape someday. And she's like, we're not escaping. Do you see where we are? We're not escaping. And then one night, after falling asleep, she wakes up to Hatcher outside of her door going, the asylum's on fire, we need to escape. And they escape. And that's when we start to get into this really crazy world, the old city. So there's the new city and there's old city. The new city being where all like the richy, like top people are, and then the old city is your like dirty, grimy, run by mob bosses. So Alice and Hatcher escape to the old city, and that's where stuff goes nuts. Hatcher keeps thinking that this Jabberwocky creature is going to come after him, and they need to get rid of the Jabberwocky. And from there we meet the mob bosses. So this is where we're gonna get spoiled. This is with spoiler alert. After I've tripped over my words. So if you haven't read this, go read this. Come back to me or be spoiled and you can continue talking about this. I'm giving you a moment. I'll have a sip of coffee while I'm waiting. Are you ready? I've warned you. So we meet the mob bosses. All right, the mob bosses are Cheshire, Caterpillar, we have the Walrus, and who am I missing? Oh, the White Rabbit. The rabbit. I don't know if it's called the White Rabbit or the rabbit. I think it's just the rabbit. But Cheshire, we find out is a magician, and there's all these tales about how magicians were run out of the old city. Is it the old city? I think, yeah, the old city. Yeah, so we find out that magicians were really run out of the old city, but there's a few big magicians like Cheshire, who is a huge mob boss. We find out in the old city that girls are traded and raped and just not good things. This is a really bad city. So Hatcher and Alice go on this journey where they need to take down mob bosses, find this magical knife so they can kill the Jabberwocky, who is this giant magician who was just overtaken by power, and now all of a sudden he's out and killing people. So they go to the different mob bosses trying to find this knife, the sword knife thing, and each mob boss is kind of like, I don't know, like they're bad. They're bad. For instance, was it the Walrus? The Walrus is the worst one, aka Grinder. The Walrus eats women because he doesn't have any magic powers. He's a mob boss, but he's not a magician. So he's been eating women to try to find the magician, the last remaining magician, and try to eat their power. But while he's raping them, which is just like gross, right? Like so disturbing. At the end of the book, we have this showdown with the Jabberwocky. Alice really finds out that she is a magician and she can wish for things. So her power is kind of like, I wish for this and it happens. I wish for this and it happens. While they meet up with the Jabberwocky at the end, she doesn't want Hatcher to get hurt or get in the way. So she really is like, Hatcher, I wish you would sleep. And he falls asleep. Like, that's her magician powers, is that she just wishes. On Goodreads, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and it's because of these last few moments with the Jabberwocky is what really is like, that was it. You come to find through the book, you see that, you know, everyone's fearing the Jabberwocky. He's this huge bad guy. He's killing people. Everyone fears him. Do you want to know how he was taken down? He was taken down by Alice going, I wish you were a butterfly in a jar with a lid. And that's how it ends. Like, to me, I feel like the fight sequence should have been longer. Taking him down shouldn't have been that easy. I mean, he's your big bad boss at the end, like a video game kind of, right? Like the boss at the end is the hardest to beat. Literally, she took him down, I think a page and a half maybe, just by wishing him to be a butterfly. So I wish that was different. And it's the same with the other bosses, like the White Rabbit, the Caterpillar, the Walrus. They were all taken down simply. Like, I don't understand. You go through the whole book and you're thinking, yeah, these are bad guys, and like they're not going to be taken down easily. They're feared by everyone, yet Alice and Hatcher took them down like they were nothing. I just wish, I don't know, I wish it was longer to get rid of them. So that's kind of my gripe, if you will. But other than that, it was a good book. I really do like how this it's probably the darkest retelling I've ever read of Alice in Wonderland. It's really creepy, and I did finish it quite quickly. Now, if you've read this and you weren't aware, there is a second book, which I'm going to be reading next, and that is Red Queen. So in this book, Hatcher and Alice continue their journey because we find out in Alice that Hatcher has a daughter. So in this book, we're going to go searching for Hatcher's daughter, and I'm excited for that. If it was anything as gruesome as this, we're in for a wild ride, that's for sure. And then yesterday, as I'm filming this today, another book from this world came out. I don't have it yet. I will try and put it here. But Looking Glass came out, and it's stories from this world. So little, I don't know, I think there's like 4 different stories in it. So I'll be excited to also get that pretty soon, but I am going to read Red Queen first. And that is it. That's kind of my review. Again, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I just wish that the big bads of this world were taken down a little bit harder than they actually were, especially the end with the Jabberwocky. Let me know what you guys thought if you've read this book, and if you have, did you have the same thoughts as me? Is that you just wanted a little more when killing the big baddies? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this is kind of a chill, like laid back video, but like I said, I just finished this book yesterday and I had to talk about it. So, and I know I'm not the best at giving synopsises of books, or, you know, because I get so excited about it, especially Alice in Wonderland retellings and just Alice in Wonderland in general. My thoughts get jumbled. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this. Leave it down in the comments down below. Also, in the down bar is my Goodreads account thing. So if you want to know what I'm reading up to date, it's down there. Friend me, let's talk about books, because I love books. My review too is also in there for Alice. I think it was a little bit more clear in Goodreads because I did it right after I read the book. So if you want my written review about it, it's in my Goodreads account. And there's all sorts of other little goodies down there. I will also leave at the end, because this is VEDA, I will leave the playlist for everything that I've got so far. It's either here or here, and then yesterday's video is either here or here. I never know which one to point, but they're there. So thank you guys. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.